Thank you, Dr. Manish and Dr. Raji Sharma. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1405th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. We welcome all to this session. Today, our guest is Dr. SHELLY SHARMA BHOSALE. Let's begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic lovers, students, and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. 7 to 8, we have the Hindi session, 8 to 9, our international session in English, and 9 to 10, we have the local language session in Malayalam. We are lucky to have doctors from 65 countries present at various purposes in this forum. And today, our guest is Dr. SHELLY SHARMA BHOSALE, and she has completed her MD and she's a PhD scholar. And she has been awarded her PhD by a very important person, that is the Defense Minister of India, Sri Rajnath Singh in 2023. And she did a diploma course in IIH Greece and has been done an advanced homeopathic course from Greece to psychology, psychiatry, and has done fellowship in psychiatry and counseling and practicing since 2011. She has successfully treated wide variety of patients from children to elderly, and she has helped to reserve and heal a variety of illness, including incurable and emergency diseases, cancer, psychiatry, and many more. She is running 2 clinics independently in Maharashtra, India, one in Mumbai and the other in Sangli. And as a researcher, Dr. SHELLY SHARMA has been publishing and presenting scientific research papers nationally as well as internationally at Dubai, Germany, Italy, and many more. Has been publishing research articles, science research journals nationally, and she was awarded the best case presentation in Liga in 2019, and she has been invited to national radio channels to educate people about the benefit of homeopathy, and she is an ex-associate professor in philosophy in physiology department, and is invited as a key speaker in many colleges and conducted educative webinars for students, doctors, nationally and internationally, and conducted many health awareness camps, talks to the patient, running independent YouTube channel, Instagram channels, and educate patients, people, doctors, and students. And though she is supposed to take a session on understanding the artistic approach, a case of autistic spectrum disorder with the differential material due to some unavoidable circumstances, doctor will be presenting the psychiatry of children. That's the best subject that we are very happy to have such sessions. And doctor has presented so many sessions in our webinars, and hope that she will be presenting today's paper in some other date later as per her convenience. So let us proudly welcome the guest of the day, Dr. SHELLY SHARMA. Welcome, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Danish, sir. And I'm very glad to be back again. So let us start with this session. This will be very interesting for everyone because here, till today, I've taken a lot of materia medica. I've shown a lot of cases. Here, I'll dive a little bit into human psychology, understanding the the evolution of human psychiatry. I'll just put a little bit light to all of you with an interesting case. So, this quote which I'm sharing on the screen is very important. Just go through it. When you cannot control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. Why do we fall sick? Why people fall sick? Why there is a pathology? Because there is a constant conflict going inside. We just want to change the circumstances. Since we are born, we just want to change things around. We want to change circumstances around, and sometimes things change, and we feel we did it, right? And we feel we are so powerful. But actual power is, when you control the way you respond to what's happening. Usually what we do, we react. Why I'm telling you is, this is because this is very important to understand the psychology of a patient whenever you see a case. So there are two things. One is you react, one is you respond. I have heard a very good story about Sachin Tendulkar. So Sachin Tendulkar, he went for batting, and you must be knowing about Harbhajan Singh and all the cricketers. So whenever they used to go for batting, Harbhajan Singh is a very aggressive cricketer. So the opposite team used to tease him. He used to get very aggressive, and he used to shout and sometimes get abusive on the ground. And he used to lose the match many of the times. So out ho jata tha. But they started teasing Sachin Tendulkar as well. Sachin Tendulkar never responded. He never reacted. He went, they used to tease him, he used to go to the ground, and he makes century and come. Now, this is responding. Reacting is what Harbhajan Singh used to do, He used to get angry, he used to become aggressive, which was Virat Kohli initially. But what Sachin used to do, he used to start responding. So when we start responding to the situations, we are going towards health. And we are reacting, this is where the pathology begins. So whenever you have a case, see where your patient is reacting, what is causing the pathology. Okay. So thank you to Dr. Samuel Hahnemann for such a wonderful science, which is homeopathy. And today I'll be sharing a case of disruptive behavior disorder in children. So what is disruptive behavior disorder? So this is a disorder which is very easily to find in children, that if you will see, many parents will tell, doctor, I don't know why, but my daughter or my son has a lot of temper tantrums. He hits people. He tears the clothes of the people. They are very argumentative. They steal things. They tell lie. And you have a lot of complaints from the college or from the school. Okay. They are not behaving normally. There's some behavioral changes in the child. Okay. And the first time a family notices this is from school, because this is where their reaction is seen amongst their peer groups. Secondly, they come to know it from their friends. Mostly it will not be seen in the house, right? And as the time goes, this reaction intensifies. So it's a condition known as disruptive behavior disorder. So this was a case of a 10-year-old girl who was brought to my consultation for her following complaints. She is very aggressive child. She has fights with her friends every 2 to 3 days. Her mother said, doctor, every 2 to 3 days, I get a complaint from the school, or I get complaint from her. In Mumbai, we have a building system. So you have a colony and she plays with children. And every 2 or 3 days, her mother used to get complaint that she is just fighting with children. Not just fighting, she's becoming very aggressive. She will throw the stone, she will tear the dress, she will hit that person, just a 10-year-old girl. Her fights turned very aggressive to an extent that she would tear clothes of the opposite child. The situation had worsened so much that other parents did not want their child to play with her. So see, it is very okay if children are fighting. It is very much okay if children are having, arguments. But if a thing turns out of control, an argument turns into aggression, a common misunderstanding goes into aggressive and destructive behavior, it is the time we have to take a note of why this is happening. Much disturbed, as daily some or the other parents approached her complaining about her daughter. She mostly fought with boys. Now, very important thing was she used to fight mostly with the boys. Despite many warnings and repetitive counseling, her condition worsened. She was left ultimately with no friends. Right? So she was being counseled in a school, outside, no change. Now, this is important. Why? Because despite of warnings, the girl couldn't stop her aggressive behavior. Despite of counseling, the girl couldn't stop her aggressive behavior. It means it is not her conscious behavior. It is something which is coming from deep within. What is psychiatric issue? What are mental diseases? Mental diseases are something which is not in our control. I'll explain you later on. We have a conscious mind, we have a pre-conscious mind, we have an unconscious mind, right? We are sad. Suppose a person is sad. He's sad for some time, maybe 1 day, 2 day, but he can, divert his mind. He can be happy. It is in his control. If a person is thinking negative, he's having a multiple thoughts, if he has a conflict, but if that conflict is under his control, he can, he can shape it, or he can take it in control. It's normal. But when the thing goes out of control, when it is not in his hands, it is schizophrenia, it is bipolar mood disorder. I'm giving you a very simple, I'm explaining you very simply, which I see day to day in my practice, because I've been seeing a lot of psychiatric cases, working beautifully with homeopathy and understanding psychiatry, understanding human psychology deeply. I've understood we have to understand in a case taking from where this reaction is coming. When the things are not in our control, it is coming from subconscious mind. That is a disease, right? So this has to be treated, and no amount of counseling will help such kind of cases. Remember that. Again, a question comes, ma'am, when does counseling helps? Right? I always get this question from my patients nowadays. People go for counseling. Counseling can help only at conscious level. Counseling cannot change something at unconscious level. And I'm very pleased to say, I'm very proud to say, it is just and only homeopathic medicines which can work at the subconscious level. It has the capacity to penetrate deep into your subconscious level, treat you until and unless the remedy is the simile. You've gone to the root cause and not just seeing any mental disease from a very superficial aspect. Homeopathy has no scope for that. Like, for example, the patient is violent, patient is aggressive, and you give just belladonna. I'm sorry, it will never help, because you have to understand from where the violence is coming, why the patient is violent, how is the violence expressed. Now, that is a remedy, right? Hahnemann speaks in mental diseases of organ and of medicine. You have to go to that depth of the case, right? Now, this is what happened with the girl. She has left with no friends. She came with all these things. She is left with no friends. Every day she has been, having fights. She's become very aggressive despite of counseling. There is no change. Her mother is frustrated. She is all alone. Now, what next? Like, she gets angry when children teases her. Now, that she is an orphan. She gets very sad, followed by anger. Now, I went deeper to the case, right? I asked the mother, since when she is angry? Is this kind of nature since her childhood, or it has become now? Number one. Second thing is that what made a shift in her nature? It is very important to know, not only from the mother, but also from the child, right? So the child said, doctor, yes, I get angry because she doesn't have a father. She lost her father maybe 1 or 2 years back. Since then, children started teasing her that she's an orphan, she doesn't have a father. So she started feeling sad, and they kept on teasing her about it. Sad, sad, sad. She started getting angry. She also feels that her mother does not give her enough time, and she is sad about it. Now, her father died. They are not very rich people. They are middle class family. Her mother has to run the house. So she goes for job. She works. She goes early in the morning. If people are aware of her from Mumbai, she leaves early in the morning at 7 o'clock. She comes at 10 o'clock at night, right? But she has no option. She doesn't have a choice because she is the whole and soul bread earning member. One. Second, her mother herself is a sapia patient. I know her very well. She is my patient. She is a sapia patient. So sapia is a remedy who will not even put efforts to take care of the child. They are so indifferent, but they are very ambitious. They are very hardworking. They are very outgoing. They will not understand the need of a field. Maybe if her mother would have been carcinosin, she would have given that little bit attention to her daughter, right? So she felt neglected from her mother, and she feels sad about it. On asking her that why she hits boys in bus, she said that they tease her as she is fat. She's a dark skinned girl. Unfortunately, in India, it's racism. People, you know, tease about the body shaming is there, the skin color is very important. Unfortunately, she was being teased about it. So she gets angry, and what she does is starts hitting them physically. 10 years old girl, right? Her mother said that at home she is very quiet girl. She always complains to her mother that no one wants me and no one wanted to play with her. So again, she has a lacuna in her life, like why no one wants to play with me. At home, she is not aggressive, right? She keeps on complaining to her mother. I asked the child whether she's having some, I asked her mother whether she's having the same nature since childhood. To this, her mother replied that she was totally different girl few years back. There's a sudden change in her nature after the death of her father. Now, this is important. Okay, and this is an important event happened in her life. After her father's death, she had suddenly grown up mentally, emotionally. My daughter thinks too much over little things, which a girl of her age is not supposed to think. So her mother was worried. Like, doctor, I don't know, since her father's death, she's suddenly grown up, I feel. She thinks too much of her age. Like what? Like, Pati, she's become very mature. She keeps worrying about her mother that, how is my mother managing all the finances? How is she able to do all alone? How will she manage everything? Okay, nothing should happen to my mother. What if she dies? Okay, and she feels a lot of gratitude for her mother that she's doing a lot for me. She goes at 7 in the morning, she comes at 10. So she has a lot of gratitude, she has a lot of worries for her mother. But at the same time, because she has so much of gratitude for her mother, she doesn't want to give any emotional burden on her mother. She started hiding things from her mother. She has developed a lot of fears. She is always fearful that what if I make any mistake, my mother will hurt. So she started hiding things from her, which was not her nature initially. So, past history, no any major disease. Personal history, diet, non-vegetarian, appetite is good. Food desires, she desires sour, sweet, chicken, fish. Food aversion, no specific. Thirst on lower side, respiration scanty, dreams startle sometimes in sleep, unfresh in the morning, sleeps in abdomen. Now, this is the video of the child. So we have understood so far that she was a very mild girl. Her father died. She has developed a lot of worries for her mother, like what will happen to my mother, what will happen to her. She has become very angry and aggressive and violent in her school. No amount of counseling helps her. She's sad that why there's no friend. Now I'll show you her video. This is after the medicine, but still, before what I observed in this case, I want you all to just pick up if you can observe something in the case, about the child. You will just have an idea.
And she used to be quiet. And this emotional level पे no one wants me, no one want to play with me or like those things. Then इसकी वजह से friends के साथ भी बहुत problem होती. Like every after 2 days, 3 days, there used to be very much problem between them. Then वो same भी वैसे नहीं. She's very friendly with her friends, and also there is no issues between friends and all. Those kind of things are not there. Even if she's fighting with someone, immediately she's leaving all those things. She's not getting stuck with those things and not waiting.
Now, this is a follow-up. Her mother's telling after the remedy, see how deep this single remedy has helped, that before she used to get stuck, now she's not getting this stuck with the things. This is after the remedy, the change. Now, I want you all to look at the child, look at the girl, make some observations in this case, because observations are also very important in this case.
And emotional level, I think now she's very much strong. So that thing is there. Then behavior at somewhere, too much thinking, too much those things are all. How she used to think? आपने क्या notice किया? Because before बाप रे बहुत कुछ मतलब जहाँ पे मैं भी नहीं ज़्यादा सोचती सारी छोटी बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजों को बहुत ज्यादा मैच्योरिटी के साथ सोचती हूँ. बहुत ज्यादा. एक एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं छोटा सा? it's like कोई भी मतलब जैसे कि भी मम्मा कुछ कर रही है तो मम्मा इतना सब कुछ कर रही है, पापा नहीं है तो मम्मा ठीक है ना, ट्रैवलिंग ठीक कर रही है ना, उसको कुछ हो तो नहीं जाएगा। बहुत कुछ उसी में रहती थी कि वो एक उसको बहुत सच वे कि वो सब बहुत रहता था। अभी कैसी है? अभी एटलीस्ट एट हर एज हाउ चाइल्ड मस्ट बी, शी इज बिहेविंग लाइक दैट, so very much relaxed. Scared, she used to be like, she used to be quiet. And this emotional level पे no one wants me, no one want to play with me or like those things. Then इसकी वजह से friends के साथ भी बहुत problem होती. Like every after 2 days, 3 days, there used to be.
So this is she. What is she telling?
What is your name? Shanish. How are you feeling, Shanisha?
Fine.
What you are finding?
Fine means little change in my behavior.
What change you find in her? In her. Actually, before she used to, what is your name?
Shanish.
Look at her face. Look at her.
Mama ka bhi important. How are you, Suniksha?
Fine.
What fine you are doing?
Like if someone teaches me, I don't feel bad. Just
This is 5 months after the medicine.
tells me my father is not there, so I just ignore them.
Before what you used to do?
I used to feel sad and I used to beat them.
Now you don't beat them. And
Now I'm not feeling bad about like my mom gets angry that she don't get sad for me.
अभी मार पिटाई नहीं करती है पक्का? हाँ, अभी किसी को मारा नहीं ना? Good.
Now, see, this is a case which was in one of most initial phases of my life. You know, this case taught me a lot. And today, when again I see this case, I learn a lot from this case, going more deeper into her. Observe her face, observe her expressions, observe her body language, observe her shoulder. These are very important whenever we prescribe in our cases. The deeper we understand a case, the deeper we understand the unconscious level language of the body, the better prescriptions we can make, right? Now, so what is the analysis of the case, right? Now, when we see, this is after the remedy and this girl is completely fine. And, if she would have not got homeopathy, it's been now 8-10 years now since I've given her remedy. Till now, she's very good, very well behaved child. But agar say she would have not got classical homeopathy or a very superficial remedy, she would have ended up into schizophrenia or bipolar mood disorder or very, very deep pathological changes. Because childhood traumas last very long. You know, when a child or when a person, many of you, just look into your childhood. Just see those who have very hard childhood, very traumatic childhood. You know, we grow up very fast, but at a time, our stress bearing capacity breaks or we react very strongly, which maybe a normal person will never behave or never react. You have subconscious reactions. You know, I have a patient, again I'll talk about. Why I'm telling you is understand the mind, understand the subconscious mind of the case. I had a girl, she had a very traumatic childhood. Her father used to hit a lot. And she was very scared. She's a very intelligent girl. She was a very smart girl, a very beautiful girl. But her father was very dominating and very strict with her. He restricted her, all her movements. Like, to an extent, whenever her father used to come back from work, she used to get so scared, or I will say she used to get so conscious that she used to go and sit in a corner in her house and just sit and study so that she should not face him. She used to get anxiety. Like she used to stay in the second floor building. So नीचे से पता चलता that Papa आ रहे. She used to get scared. right? Again, her father used to hit her. तो उसको हमेशा feeling रहता था whenever she was walking, even when she grew up, that someone is going to hit her from behind. She got married. After marriage, what happened, you know? Whenever husband used to come back from home, she used to develop anxieties. She used to develop anticipation, right? Even in her childhood, whenever she used to talk in front of any people, her father used to hit her anytime, be very, used to be very insulting, used to insult her. So when she grew up, she was very conscious around her husband, as if she is sitting with a dictator. But her husband is very nice. He's typical phosphorus. He's a very nice man. But she developed such fears that she eventually overreacted to all his actions. So her husband wondered after 6 to 8 months of marriage why she is overreacting for my little things. Whenever I come back home, why she is always anxious, why she is overreacting. So I took her case, I went to her subconscious mind, I went deeper to her, and I understood she is having this subconscious reactions of her childhood back again with that man. Right? So is the impact of childhood traumas. And now this girl got the right remedy. Her whole future is secure. This is the magic of homeopathy. Okay. Now, what were the observations here in this case? She's a obese girl, dark complexion. She had short neck. Her looks were like this, starey look. She's very intelligent girl. She answered all her questions very nicely. She's very alert. You can see a lot of confidence in her talk. As I was talking to her, she was so confident in talking. She was not a shy girl like a pulsatilla, mama, you tell, I don't know anything. She's very clear with things. Yes, they tell like this to me. I get angry, I hit them. Bindas. So I need a remedy who is very confident, who is very strong. Look at her voice. Her voice is so sharp. This also you have to observe. How she's talking, how she's sitting, what is the sharpness in her tone, what is the structure of the body, what her body is talking subconsciously. You have to observe every details of the case. Right? Now, I want you all to tell me what are the remedies you think, if you can just put in the chat box. Like what are the differential remedies coming into your mind? Right? These are my observations. I'll show you the chart, observation chart. What is the analysis of the case? If you could just put something. So now let us understand the analysis, right? We have to, one thing we got about this child is she's very angry. She fights with boys, but she's fearless, right? She fight with boys, she'll tear their clothes, she will not tolerate anything wrong, right? So I understood one thing from that case. Now, how it happened, complaint started after death of a father. Now, this landmark is very important for our understanding of the case. Things started after her father's death. What is father? Father is a symbol of what we have to understand. See, we can't always take a rubric, death of father, ailments from. Now we have to understand a death of a mother, ailments from, death of a friend, ailments from. Right? Now it is important to know what that father means for a person, what a mother needs for a person. Right? Death of a mother means what? What mother symbolizes? Does mother symbolizes, maybe a mother is like a father for someone, right? Maybe sometimes mother is a support, father is a care. So we have to understand when the child said after my wife's death. So what we think, acha, wife ka death means romantic life khatam. Maybe wife is a support. Maybe he feels I have no support now. He must be a bambusa remedy, or he must be a Kalkeria carb remedy. Maybe wife is a partner, companionship. They are very good friends. So he is missing a very good friend in his life, a companion. Maybe I remember a patient where after the death of his wife, the patient developed cancer. He said, "My wife died. I developed cancer." I'm like, I took the whole case, and then I said, like, what is wife for you? Because she was my best guide. Before marriage, I couldn't take any decisions. My father was my best guide. Then it was my wife who's very strong. She's well-learned woman. She's very independent woman, and she's very good guide for me to take all decisions. So he lost a guide in the form of mother, wife. So I gave him strontium carb, taking other totality as well. So what is father? Father symbolizes support. Father symbolizes protection. Father symbolizes caretaker. Future. Father symbolizes future. Father symbolizes money, right? Father symbols resources. Now, she is worried about future, right? What is she worried now? How will my mother manage all the finances? How is she going to take care of everything? Okay? She has been troubled in her child, in her school. So what rubric will take here? She is not just troubled and teased, she is abused. So I've taken the rubric ailments from being abused. Fear of alone, she is very sad. Sad, father ka death hua, she is sad. She has no friend, she has sadness. She has sadness everywhere. She has a strong disappointment. She has become very precautious, very serious for her age. You can see how serious she has become. Her speech is serious, everything is serious. There's a lot of suppression. Now, this was a repertory chart, right? Ailments from death of loved ones. Ailments from abused after being. Future ka anxiety. She's a very conscientious remedy. Fear of solitude. Precocity of children. So what remedy I must have given? Who can tell? Dr. Danish, can people chat, or it is not allowed to chat?
Yes, yes, everybody can chat, but unfortunately, nobody is responding. That maybe it's carcinosin.
Carcinosin. Acha. And only carcinosin. I want you all to think laterally. Dr. Annie John said carcinosin. I want you all to think little laterally. You know, it's very interesting. I'll teach you a very interesting remedy to do. Fine. So what we did was, there are too many before I go ahead, there are two important observatory rubrics which I have not put in the chart. The remedy is here. It's not carcinosin. Okay. Again, what I'm telling is, we are limiting our mind. We're just looking at conscious level. We have to learn to go deep inside, dive deep into the subconscious mind. Okay. Remedy is not carcinosin. And there are two important rubrics, very important rubrics, which are observatory rubrics, which I have put. So, what Hahnemann speaks about in footnote 84 and 85, he talks about importance of observation at physical and mental level. You have to master the art of observation if you have to make, you know, the master prescriptions, because all your observations never fail, but you have to be a very unprejudiced observer. So for that, you have to learn the art of being unprejudiced. To learn how to be unprejudiced, you have to be an unprejudiced person. To be an unprejudiced person, you have to be a spiritual person. Okay. Now, in footnote, in aphorism 221, he talks about how important it is that state of chiefly determines the selection of homeopathic remedy as being decidedly characteristic symptom, which can least of all remain concealed from the accurately observing physician, right? So disposition is important, but it is also important to see deeper aspects. So two important observations which I noticed and I have put in my chart. One is speech is serious. You see her speech. She was so serious in her speech. And if you could see to her voice, there was shrill in her speech. There's a shrill. You know, it's so sharp and it's so shrilling that it gives you chill. That's voice shrill. So the remedy which I gave for the patient was stramonium. Okay, we just know one aspect of stramonium. Stramonium is having this mania, that mania. But you know, a remedy has 360 views. Today I'll show you another beautiful aspect of stramonium, Because after this prescription, I got to learn one aspect of stramonium very deeply. And I'm going to share about that aspect of stramonium. Like for me, I've been understanding stramonium in many aspects now. This is grief aspect of stramonium, which I'm going to show you, right? Remedy given was stramonium 200, one single dose, that's it. What is stramonium? We have to understand. Stramonium means fear, fear, fear. Look at her eyes. वो girl की eyes अगर आप देखोगे, they were like this. Whenever you see a lion and tiger, you are in a room. What is that stare look? That is stramonium of fear. Stramonium is one of the remedy which has subconscious fear. There are so many remedies of fear, but stramonium has a fear which is at subconscious level. Like magnesium has subconscious level of unloved and orphan feeling. So stramonium, remember, has subconscious element of fear. You just have to understand that. And his responses, which comes out, the violence, the fight, is just the response to the fear. Like for example, a dog is chasing you. You have a fear of dog. In that response, a dog jumps at you. You will subconsciously give a box, and you will say, I don't know, I'm a very non-violent person, but I just attacked the dog. Why? Because a subconscious element of fear, when you face the situation, subconsciously a reaction came, you punch the dog. So this is the subconscious reaction of stramonium. Stramonium's all anger, violence are the output of subconscious fear. Remember. Now, I'll just talk in short about stramonium. It is a very, very deep remedy. We can talk a lot about stramonium. But a normal stramonium personality, whenever a stramonium child, a stramonium adult, a stramonium old person will come. They will talk a lot. They will talk to you. Like dhatura, you have dhatura. Stramonium hum Shivji ko chadhate. You have a dhatura. Like you are intoxicated. A person who is intoxicated, they will have no senses. They will just talk. The stramonium talks a lot. It is one of the most talkative remedy of a homeopathic materia medica. Now, how will they be when they come? When they are normal, they have no much fears or there's no much things happening. They are very happy-go-lucky people. They sing, they dance, Jai Jai Bholenath and all that stuff. The Shiv lovers and all. They are of those types, laughing and singing, full of life people. They love to dance. Stramonium wants a lot of support in their life. They don't know that. They want a lot of support. Okay? Till that, when they have a support, they are just having chill life. They're also very boasters. One of the most boasting remedy is stramonium. They're emotionally vulnerable. Very intense emotions they carry inside. And they're actually very fearful people. They have a strong fear of violence because they have a strong history of violence. So they have strong fear of violence, which has gone so down, that there's a subconscious dark element in them, which they even don't know maybe. And we just see his violence or her violence, but we are unaware about the subconscious dark element. Okay. Now, what are the sensitivities of stramonium, or how does a pathology develop? Okay, till everything is okay, they are fine, they are, stramonium, when they'll come to your clinic, they'll sit, there's a rubric affectation in stramonium. Dhongi. They will not have a long, this is another aspect of stramonium. They will not have a tone. They will not have a normal tone. They will have a very singing tone, artistic tone. Yes, doctor, I'm fine. They're boasting. Their speech will have a boast. Their speech will have laugh. Their speech will have a music. Yeah. Yes, doctor, I'm fine. How are you, doctor? Yes, I'm doing great. And they will always have God. Yes, I came just from Shiva temple. Now I'm going to Ganpati temple. Then tomorrow I will be going to Balaji. I have a patient who is Tremonium. Every month she goes to a temple, a big one. One, like she will go today, she'll go to this month, she's going to Balaji. After 2 to 3 months, Sai Baba. After 2 to 3 months, she'll go to Vaishno Devi. She just keeps on going to temples. She had involuntary urination ka issue. Matlab, this woman couldn't control her urine even for 5 minutes before she came to me. And for last 10-15 years, she couldn't go out of the house. The reason being is the moment she goes out, usko urine lagta hai. She had such a bad situation. Just imagine how it started, Her husband was murdered in front of her for money. So he was a very big shot, having a lot of business. His opposite party in the road, in a crowded road, in front of her house, where she saw he was murdered. Now, what happened? She developed fear so much that whenever she goes out the house, she always feels there's someone who's following me. Right? She lost all her support in her life. I gave her Stremon, which really helped her tremendously. Now she goes out, she has a very good control of urine, things are feeling fine. So this is one aspect of Stremoni. We have just 15 minutes left. I'll wind up fast. So now ailments from feeling left alone. When they are left alone, any fearful situation, loss of support, from being abused, and when there is anger with fright, the pathology of stramonium begins. This is where they are triggered. Right? Now, how is the reaction? They start being clinging. So you have a rubric clinging for stramonium. Just want to cling to anything because they want support. Who clings, who needs support? A strong person will never cling. A strong person will give support. A weak person who doesn't have a strong spine, who is weak, will always cling. So they are basically very weak people. I'll tell you one thing. People who are very angry, aggressive, violent, they are very weak people. Power is in not being aggressive. Powerful people are those who, being strong, are not aggressive. They know how to control their senses. That's real power, These people, we think, and they think they're powerful, like Naxwamika, Stremonium, Viratramalvum, Lactuses. They are very strong. They feel we can hit anyone, we are strong. No. If anyone can stimulate a monster in you, means you're so weak. Right? Now, reaction is they're clinging, affectation, violence, expression of terror, they become very abusive. Now what they cling to, if they don't have humanness, they cling to God. So there's religious mania and stremon. Insanity, religious insanity and stremon. So this is in short about stremon. Violence is an instinctive response to fear. We think a person is violent, but there's a fear, जिसके वजह से a person gets violent. And a strong person, as Buddha says, overcomes his fear. Okay, we have just 10 minutes now. Now we'll just talk in short about human emotions. I'll talk about a fruits theory today. Little bit, I'll just put a little light on that. Now, you all must be aware of id, ego, and superego, right? Freud's theory suggests that human behavior is influenced by the unconscious memory, thoughts, and urges. Now, whenever the girl was teased, what she did, she just started hitting, tearing the clothes. Do you think this is a conscious reaction? No. This is an unconscious reaction. This is an unconscious urge to hit. Maybe if she would have been pulsatilla, she would have just cried, no? If she would have been magnesium, she would have gone more deeper. She would have not talked to anyone, maybe. And she must have become very low, introvert. This would have been a reaction. But she is stramonium. She has a subconscious element of violence, which she is carrying maybe from many lives. Maybe her miasm is again now syphilitic. Her reaction became very violent. Okay. Now, we all know that our human mind is divided into three parts. You know, the id, ego, and super. Okay, going more, making it more simpler, we all have our mind. We'll divide in three parts. In short, conscious level, pre-conscious level, and unconscious. Now, what is the difference? Conscious level is that where you're conscious and aware of things, right? Like, for example, you want to go to for urine. Now, you're conscious that I want to go to urine, but I cannot urinate here. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to wait till I go to the bathroom. I can't urinate here, right? Or for example, you're sitting in a meeting with your boss and he's shouting at you. He's shouting at you. Maybe he's getting very violent, personal, but you know at conscious level, no, if I talk ulta, I will be fired. So this is your conscious level, which is in your control. They just filter your inner urges, which is unconscious level, which you're not even aware of. So what this girl was not aware of is that she can be very violent and she can tear someone. Maybe Lactasus can be so violent that he can just tear, or high scammers can be so violent that when he's angry at subconscious level, he can throw acid on someone. Tarantula can be very revengeful. These are their unconscious reactions, which is our own basic responses and impulses. Whatever situation we are in, we respond at unconscious level, but we are not aware of it, right? Pre-conscious is the superego part. Superego part is what, it is there inside you. You know it is inside me. For example, hyoscyamus or fluoric acid. They are morally bad remedies, right? These people have bad moral tendencies, right? They are aware of it. Still, they have a bad eye over a girl or a boy or a situation, right? Hyoscyamus, but they are aware. What they are aware of it? No, I have a bad eye, but the ego says you should not be doing this because you are in a situation, you will be into a trouble if you eve a girl, or if you will pass a bad comment, or if you use an abusive language. But when your id is what? It is more deeper level, which is your basic impulses. And when the barrier between id, ego and superego breaks, it is where you get schizophrenia, bipolar mood disorders. So schizophrenic people doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe sometimes he will be abusive, he will use obscene language, anything, because the subconscious level now is not having any filters. A child, a newborn child, he doesn't have any filters. No, you want to urine, he will urine here. If you want to do potty, he will do potty here. He will hit anyone. Mama, tu pagal hai, tu ye hai. They talk anything because they have no filters. But as we grow, we learn and try to put filters. But in Materia Medica, when you're taking a case, the deeper you go into the case, deeper you try to understand the subconscious level of the patient, the subconscious language of the patient, the better prescriptions you can make, right? In short, I'll tell you, this is the human mind model. Unconscious mind, subconscious mind, conscious mind. What is conscious mind? It is a mind which analyzes things. It is a mind which has a reasoning. It is a mind which is intellectual, and it is very limited. Here you have beta brain waves. Now, what are beta brain waves? It is those kind of, our brain emits frequencies, So what we call as aura, or connecting to the higher subconscious level, the better our frequencies are, we can connect to the subconscious. We can connect with the higher consciousness. The purer we get, the more data we can download, which is in the universe. So people like Steve Jobs, Sai Baba, great people, they are not working at the conscious level. They have purified the conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. The more you purify, the more you eradicate your miasms, you can become more supernatural. right? Now, subconscious mind are about your feelings. They are just like a hard drive. You have inside, but you know when to take it out and when you should not take it out. So when you drink, sometimes subconscious things come up, okay, you do musty, you forget everything, you talk all nonsense. Subconscious materia medica will come when you see someone is drinking. Feelings and emotions come here, okay? Here sometimes you get angry, the subconscious things may come up. Here mostly of alpha or theta brain waves. Why? The subconscious mind ka kaam kya hota hai? It just absorbs. It is not active. It is passive. It just absorbs. And your unconscious mind is somewhere which is you're not aware of. आपको ही पता नहीं आप क्या हो. Maybe अच्छा अच्छा सुन के you're trying to be good, you're trying to be very good, but आपको ही पता नहीं अंदर हम कितने बड़े राक्षस हैं. Because unconscious mind is something which you're carrying from many births, and in this birth you have to try to make it more purer. This is an aim so that you can become more higher, right? Now your autonomic nervous system comes under it, because constant subconscious unconscious level of stress causes pathology, because they will stimulate your autonomic nervous system you will not be aware of. Your breathing, your heart rate, your digestion, your immune system comes under it. Delta brain waves are seen. Dreams, they come in unconscious mind. So dreams are very important in your case because they speak the language of unconscious mind. When a person is, I just winding up, I had a patient, she's a very lovely person, very lovely, very, very decent girl, when you see her. She was under anesthesia. And when she was in anesthesia and when she was coming out, she became very abusive because her conscious mind is not working as a person withdraws from anesthesia. Subconscious mind, not unconscious. And she became so abusive, so vulgar, so dirty, which says what is in her mind, unconscious mind, that language came out, which only other thing which your dreams can talk about. So this is in short today's session, and hope I have some very interesting rubrics. Dr. Danesh, how much time are we left with?
Just 7 minutes remaining. So I think it's better to have a discussion. Of course, you can go ahead with the rubric.
Okay, we'll have a discussion, no problem.
Okay. Because people may want to have a chat with you also, and sometimes there may be questions. Of course, some people can add something more on Stramonium also.
Okay.
Anyway, it's really a very, very good session, and you really went through the session with the beauty of Stramonium and demonstrated how beautifully it works in conditions, particularly in mental ailments of people, particularly children, and how the fear and how the expression of a patient really lead to the selection of the remedy, and why the carcinosin is not the right remedy for that particular patient. People may think that, oh, because of these kind of things in the childhood, the patient may require carcinosin, but you showed that it is not a must to begin with carcinosin. You can directly go to the right remedy, because from the very expression, this frightening look of the lady like this you shown in this picture, that's the beauty of your presentation. So nobody will forget about this Stramonium because of such a beautiful presentation here in this forum. I hope it is the time for discussion. Those who want to have a chat or want to have a question, you can ask, or you can even you can share a case from your side in a short time. Yes. Yes, nobody is raising hands, so I think you can add something, a short history, because maybe positive time. Doctor, how will you manage such cases? Whether you whether you have given any counseling in the later part of our treatment, or where you directly went up with the same medicine, this stramonium
No.
right away?
See, according to the remedy, the constitution, and the level of pathology, we have to decide we have to counsel or not. For example, if the patient is natromure, you cannot counsel. He doesn't want counseling. He will leave you. Natromure just want to be understood. So once you make that person feel that I'm understanding you, they will stay with you. But if you counsel an natromure, they'll never come back. But if you'll not counsel pulsatilla, she will never come back to you. At conscious level, I'm talking about these things. Viratram, you can never counsel a Viratram because he thinks I am directly messenger of God. Who are you to tell me? Right? So this is the beauty of homeopathy, where looking at the remedy, understanding the remedy, we can decide upon how to, what we should say to the patient or you should not say. Kali, you cannot. You have to talk on facts with Kali. If you counsel the Kali, he will not take it. Again, in cases like this, where her subconscious element was disturbed, what amount of counseling you do will not help. For schizophrenic patient, no counseling will help. For depression, no counseling will help. It will help only if the remedy is right. After that, they may follow what you have said.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to know from you, because homeopathic medicines are supposed to be super counselors, and they can do better counseling than any other thing. That's why I do have some arguments with some people. Some people always say that you need to give this kind of people counseling, but those people who are intolerant of counseling cannot stand with the doctor anymore, because they might have visited so many doctors who are who have given counseling for them, but they fear that, oh, this fellow also may give me counseling. So what's the need of visiting such a doctor? But our homeopathic medicine can do real wonders by giving super counseling.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, you're correct.
Yes. Can you say anything? Yes, I think Dr. Boblim is waiting for you. Yes, Dr. Bob, come over here and you can chat. Speak to Dr.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Dr. Dana. Congratulations to Dr. Shelly Sharma. She has shared a very, very good, brilliant presentation using the mind rubrics and remedy. Yeah, and also explain about the effects of the conscious mind and subconscious mind. And I'd like to know further if how does the alpha wave affect which level of the mind, Dr. Shelley?
Alpha waves or theta waves. Whenever you're relaxed, whenever you are in a state of passive attention, you're listening, you're learning, this is a time when your brain emits alpha waves. Whenever you are in anxiety or in active concentration, you're just focusing, it is a time where your brain emits beta waves, right? It's in high altitude waves. So alpha wave is at pre-conscious mind. Because what is subconscious mind? What is pre-conscious mind? They are ready to absorb. Like now we are talking, we are sitting and talking. What are you doing? You are in a passive state. You're just absorbing. So this is time where your brain emits alpha waves. Right? And at the deep delta, there's another wave which is called as delta wave. And one more is known as gamma waves. Okay. When these kind of frequencies come out of our brain, it has a therapeutic effect or a destructive effect on us and the people around. Right? So delta waves are when they are emitted when you are in a deep sleep, when you are in a deep meditation, right? Whenever we are in a deeper aspects, it helps to improve our health. So sleep is very important, especially the REM sleep, rapid eye movement. So again, I can talk a lot about sleep. We don't have time about rapid on that.
Definitely, we can have a chat in the next time. So, Dr. Bob, you can say vote of thanks to this. You can say the vote of thanks to the session also, Dr. Bob.
Okay. on behalf of the IFPH, I would like to say a very, very big thank you and our deepest appreciation to Dr. Shelly Sharma for sharing a very brilliant webinar tonight, basing on the mind rubrics and her approach to the conscious and subconscious mind, and how she treated an autistic child. And that was a very, very brilliant job you have done. And once again, I would say thank you very much, and hope you can come again and share further, especially regarding the various type of ways that affects the mind. And thank you very much. I say congratulations to you, and over to you, Dr. Danish.
Yes, Dr. Shelly, you want to say anything more?
Nothing, just that's it. Thank you so much for being here once again. So many enthusiastic people and many known faces here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shelly Sharma and Bob Lim and doctors who attended, as well as the homeopathy lovers who attended the session. With that, we come to the end of the day 1406. And tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Srikant Chalari, and Dr. will be discussing about mind rubric and its uses in practice. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
All, and good night. See you at the same time tomorrow. It's over to Dr. Manoj to moderate the Malayalam session now.